Hello and welcome back to our Let's Play of Oxygen Not Included, episode 53. Let's get right to it. So we're building out this space area, which eventually we're going to use to do the remaining research that we have to do. Also set up our network scanners, and basically just do a lot of useful things that that are kind of just eventually going to have to be on the docket. So let's go ahead and set ourselves up a little bit of bunker tile here to enclose off this area, and I think that we will just, for the moment, go ahead and slap down granite tile right here, just to close us off temporarily. And we're going to start working on getting the rest of our stuff up and running. We have very little oxygen here because we have all this vacuum that's essentially sucking it out. But we're going to get rid of this plastic ladder at some point and close off this entire area, and this will be within our base. And then we're going to have our sort of staging areas right here, and then our space structures up here eventually. That's the plan. Well, the next things I want to work on, though, this is at 94%, all right. Well, the next things I want to work on is getting fast transport up to this location, though. That's going to be fairly important. And I think we will... We have some choices. I can set it up so that we deposit our guys right here. That would be fine. Part of the problem is that we can't really... Let's inspect that. Part of the problem is that we can't really build out too much here because most of the stuff can't be deconstructed. So potentially we want to actually build out right here, and maybe in fact not have this be the airlock area, but have this be the airlock area, and then have our oxygen generation or oxygen storage down here. And we can have power down here. Basically the same story as before, but with this as the level that we but this is the level that we close off essentially and have our base below that. That is one option. Yeah, it's also possible that we just want to deposit guys down here and have a bunch of stuff under here. I think we're gonna have them just drop off right here. I kind of like that idea. Oh, that's cold. We are really chilling this area with the... I guess with this area being that cold, that's what's causing it. So maybe these Wheezeworts aren't particularly necessary. Though this is rather hot up here. Yeah. Huh. Where are these? Okay, this area is flooded now. That's unfortunate. We'll need to move this. But apparently we've dropped enough ice in here. So, let's take all these and set them to do nothing. Copy settings like so. We'll need to move this up. We kind of need to move it up eventually, but having to do it sooner rather than later is a little bit annoying. Okay, so yeah. I want to set up our vacuum tube system to get these guys up here, and that means digging out a lot of this area as well. So let's get working on that. Let's go ahead and say utilities, drywall, igneous rock is fine, and start working on this area right here. Slowly getting all this stuff set up. We're great on food at this point. The second farm kicking in means that we have just tons of food to work with. I think we might want to up our oxygen generation, which shouldn't really be that hard because we have tons of algae, tons of water, tons of all the resources that are necessary to do this stuff. So let's go ahead and set these priorities. Set this priority a little bit higher, since I think that's really what's going to slow us down in terms of getting our vacuum tube up here. And we probably want to start building out our vacuum tube. So Let's see. I believe it's base. Yeah, transit tube. Here we go. Get this running up here. We'll also have the transit tube running down here. Get them building that as well. All right, looking good. Yeah, we'll have the drop-off point be right here. That's the plan. So we need to set up a little bit of power for this. That shouldn't be too hard, because it's not going to take a ton of power for these guys. And of course, if this thing should go down, we have a ladder. They can get around. It's not the end of the world for them. A lot of the stuff they're doing right now requires them to move resources up here, and because I don't think you can take any resources with you on these transit tubes, getting this done is not a super high priority at the moment. But eventually we'll want to have this done. Can I build transit tube here? The answer is no. Okay. So we will want to sort that out. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem. It is really cold out here, isn't it? Fair enough. This is getting really hot though. So filling this up with some sort of air to reach an equilibrium seems like a good idea. Having some sort of thermal communication between those 2 points seems like a good idea. Okay. So we are slowly having our CO2 pressed out of here, which is not what we want to see. We would really like to, at this point, get this natural gas under control, and I think that means doing something with this area here. So I think we are just going to set up mesh tile across here because we don't really want to deal with the water that's eventually going to melt from all this, which I think is just an inevitability. So base, let's set up mesh tile. Iron is fine. And we're just going to build pretty much all across here. And as we go along, let's go ahead and dig out this area as well. I think one of the main things we're going to look to do is set up some plastics operation. So maybe some of this should not be mesh tile as a result. There's a bit of a decision to make. Well, I definitely want to change all this to granite, I believe, and have this water fall down. So let's also do that. You know what? We'll do it at a igneous rock. I don't really care. I don't think people are going to be running across this too often. But let's also, I suppose, dig out this area first. Alright. Polluted water and water is being dumped here. It's not quite what I... Sweep only though, so I guess it doesn't really matter. We're just going to deconstruct this. And we are going to say dig out this as well. What temperature is this water? This water is fairly warm. Yeah, that's fine. So actually, dig out all the way to here. We can deal with that. Dig out all the way to here. Let all this water fall down. Free up a little bit more space for the CO2 to go. These slicksters are eating it faster than we produce it, I believe. How are we doing over here? This is starting to come up. These temperatures are fairly high, sort of what we expected. We can clear out a little bit more area here. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Field rations, don't really care. Deconstruct, deconstruct, deconstruct. Alright. Alright. This will all be mesh tile. We want to set up a little coolant area for our glass to fall into. That's going to be important, ultimately. Let's get a little bit of popped eardrums, really. Huh, I suppose so. We're producing enough from here. You poor man, Nicola. Why are you sitting down here? Igneous rock. Set this priority really high so that Nicola can get out of here. In fact, you have sandstone available to you. How about we instead just say base, ladder, sandstone. Yeah, go ahead and do that. You have sandstone. What are you doing, Nicola? Recovering breath. We don't want that. Okay, Nicola. What are you doing right now? Expressing themselves. Sure. When you're done expressing yourself, how about you get yourself up to here and get treated? Sounds like a plan. Okay. This is continuing along. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, we're just going to build out this area, and this area is going to be used for our new industrial area, basically. I think a lot of it is ultimately going to be a large reservoir that we're going to dump our glass into. Basically a coolant for the glass to slowly heat up. New duplicates available. What do we got? Nope. Diver's lungs only. 98%. This is awaiting its plastic. This is all sealed off. Sure. They'll work on this eventually. Yeah, no landing available, correct. Digging our way out here. So, we're going to want to do a number of things. We're going to want to set up a reservoir for coolant. Oh, you are a little trapped here, Bert, aren't you? Okay, we need to deconstruct this. That way Bert can get out. And then we'll rebuild that. Alright. So we need to get our glass production up and going as we get ourselves out into space. We're pretty good on steel, we're pretty good on plastic. Very good job, Stinky, very good job. Exosuit engineer. Definitely. Replace more of this with tile. Looking good. Yeah, we need to get our glass set up That way we can have solar panels. I still think solar panels are worth it. They take a little bit of effort, but it's free power, essentially. And that's usually pretty good. And we want to start using a lot more natural gas over coal. Because we do have coal as a renewable resource in the sense that we have a lot of patches up and going at this point. That's all well and good. Scalding. How hot have these temperatures reached? Gotten fairly hot. 79. Alright, meat. Yeah, we do need to worry about the temperatures here, don't we? Maybe it's actually just a good idea to bring out our... yeah, I think that's a plan. Let's take... Well, it's going to be vacuum in here for a while, though, isn't it? That's sort of really the problem. Yeah, we just need to let them work and finish this up. And then we can bring the Wheezeworts in. Yeah, they just need to work a little bit longer there. I'm not too worried about the Scalds. Vitals. Health. Yeah, took 5 damage. That's fine. Okay. Back to what we were doing. So we need to get our glass production up and going. And I think a lot of that is ultimately going to be suffocating. May, what happened here? Alright, deconstruct this. Set priority to be a 9. You cannot get up here, can you? Huh. I need to dig out this then, May. Let's slow this down. And let's get you out of here. Yeah, you still can't breathe. But now you can get out. What are you doing, May? Just go up here. Okay. Someone fell again. I think we're just going to leave this open until we're done here. Nicola, are you not... Nicola has hypothermia, doesn't he? Yeah. Get yourself fixed there, Nicola. Slicksters are still happy, living their lives. They're cramped in here. And if I put them in there, they'll be cramped again. So we need to expand our Slicksters one more time, it looks like. Yeah. That's something on the docket to do. Abyssalite, Abyssalite, Abyssalite. Alright. Could set them up here. That's doable. We could also dig out the reservoir a little bit further and move this pump down. That's also an option. That is an option. I think we're just going to let them stay cramped. I think we have enough CO2 consumption here that we're not really too concerned with the Slicksters producing a whole lot. 3 larva eggs. Yeah, we're gonna leave that off for now while we work on this area. Looks like we need to provide a little bit of scaffolding. In fact, while we're at it, maybe we just want to scaffold our way across all of this. This prevents any mishaps. And we just won't do this. Is there anyone else suffering from any sort of disease or anything? Meep. Nope. Alright. I think we're looking good. I mean, I can check through a little bit more thoroughly, but I think we're fine. Temperature is cooling down over here. That's great. No plastics until we get our more petroleum here. Looks to be the order of things. We also want a little bit more copper. Don't we? Alright. Let's dig out these. And dig out this. Just so we can finish up our exosuits. And now we're going to dig out this. Okay. Yeah, we are taking a few hits up here. Meteor shower time. Slowly filling this up with oxygen. Slowly getting to where we want to be. So space exposure over here. Okay. Let's work on that a little bit. Utilities, drywall. Get some more up in here. Sure. And dig this out. Yeah, this will take a little while, but eventually it'll get done. Okay. And base. Transit tube. Do I need to do it like this? Yes. Alright, perfect. They'll slowly build out all that as well. So, oxygen-wise, how are we looking? Tons of oxygen. Peter's out a little bit here, just taking some time to diffuse. And also we've just been having some of it get vacuumed out. And this area is getting ready to go. Alright. Slickster's still working hard, turning this CO2 into useful petroleum. We want to use up this natural gas. Alright, this is all done. Let's finish up this mesh tile. I think I'm going to cut the episode here. Doesn't feel like a very productive episode, because we're still just sort of digging out this large area. But, I mean, eventually, we're going to get here. Just taking a little bit of time. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.